What do cerium, yttrium, lanthanum, and neodymium all have in common? Other than being hard to pronounce, they're all rare earth minerals, and they help power everything from bombs to batteries. One country dominates the market for rare earth minerals, and that one country also happens to be the prime target in President Trump's trade war. China is home to the world's largest deposits of rare earth minerals, and it's threatening to use that to its advantage as Trump and China's Xi Jinping attempt to negotiate a trade deal. In late May 2019, the official newspaper of China's Communist Party recently warned that the country could cut off rare earth mineral sales to the United States as a countermeasure in Trump's trade war. The news sent shockwaves through the tech and manufacturing industries that rely on those minerals. The defense industry also needs them. The glass industry is the largest consumer of rare earths, according to Bank of America Merrill Lynch metal strategist Michael Widmer. Companies use rare earth metals to make camera lenses as well as TV and cell phone screens. But rare earth minerals are found in a host of other products too, from vehicle batteries to metal baseball bats and precision-guided weapons. They're vital to creating armored vehicle alloys and missiles that explode on impact. Simply put, rare earth minerals give the US military a major advantage. That's an issue because China holds about 35% of the world's reserves and produced about 70% of the world's supply in 2018. The US leans heavily on imports of rare earth minerals, and about 80% of its consumption in 2018 came from China. That amounted to about $160 million. So China's threat to cut off the supply of rare earth metals is likely to escalate an already contentious trade situation between the two countries. The trade battle between China and the US has been going on since mid-2018, when President Donald Trump imposed tariffs on $250 billion worth of Chinese goods. Early in 2019, Trump said he believed the two countries had a deal, but then said that China reneged. China has denied the charge, and the country's Ministry of Commerce spokesperson told the South China Morning Post it is committed and has kept its promises, and this has never changed. The truth is, the trade war is beginning to impact both countries' economies and markets, and is likely to continue doing so until they reach an agreement. Research firm IHS Markit says countries facing tariffs, including the US, also face declines in real exports and GDP. And while President Trump has repeatedly said China was paying the price of the trade war, experts say the real burden falls on US consumers. That's not to say the tariffs haven't impacted China. The IMF recently lowered the country's 2019 growth forecast, even though it says the effects of tariffs have been mostly contained so far. So it's not surprising China would resort to threatening the supply of rare earths to gain an advantage. It should be noted, however, the trade war has not carried over to the area of rare earth metals, which are exempted from US tariffs. They're that important. Since the Chinese government threatened to restrict access to rare earth minerals in May 2019, the prices of these materials have rallied. The price of neodymium, used in speakers and magnets, has increased more than 20% in the last month, according to Asia Metal, a site that monitors the global metal markets. The price of dysprosium, which is used in lasers, is up more than 10%. Nevertheless, China's threat to restrict supply could end up costing them in the long run. The US is now seeking alternative suppliers, particularly since there's only one domestic source: California's Mountain Pass mine. MP Materials owns the mine. Currently, it ships the rare earths it mines to China for processing, although it plans to retrofit and reopen an on-site processing facility in 2020, according to a company spokesman. And China has imposed its own 25% tariff on those imports because of the trade war. But relief may be on the way. Recently, Australia's Linus Corporation signed a deal with Blue Line Corp to build a processing facility in Texas. And in May 2019, the Senate introduced legislation to encourage the domestic development of rare earth minerals. There's even a movement to extract them from coal ash, but that could take a decade or more before the technology proves viable for industrial use. Meanwhile, the Pentagon is in discussions with Malawi's Makongo Resources and other rare earth miners outside of China. Makongo is still several years from coming online, however, so the search for alternative suppliers will have to continue.